This is the GIS Evening Report for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. I am Rikisha St. Louis. In the headlines, the Lower House of Parliament supports measures to remove illegal firearms and ammunition off the streets. We'll have details to this story and more after the break.
Get ready to witness the ultimate showcase of talent, speed, and determination at the 2024 Carriacou Games. This prestigious event brings together the best young athletes from across the Caribbean, competing for glory like never before. With the motto, many people, one region, celebrating athletics, Carriacou embodies the essence of Caribbean unity through sports, igniting a flame that illuminates the future of sports in the region. Don't miss out on this incredible event, taking place at the Carani James Athletic Stadium from Saturday 30th March to Monday 1st April 2024. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical or visit gotofed.com and secure your spot to be part of this extraordinary celebration of athleticism.
Welcome back. Forces were joined in the Lower House on Tuesday to support measures to tackle the troubling issue of firearms and ammunition illegally circulating in the country. Reports from the Royal Grenada Police Force show that over 60 firearms were confiscated from 2019 to 2023, with more than 10 already seized for 2024. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell, in presenting the Firearms Amendment Bill 2024, said the intention is to first introduce an amnesty period of 90 days to allow Grenadians with unlawful firearms and ammunition to deliver them to the police and receive protection from prosecution. He said the move is necessary to preserve Grenada's peace, stability, and socio-economic development.
The bill seeks to give the minister that power to make the order. But I will go further to say that the parameters of the order are also, in a sense, being controlled. So the order or the amnesty period, it is envisaged, will not go beyond 90 days. A person or individual will be allowed to surrender the firearm or the ammunition anonymously. A person or individual would be permitted, if they so desire, to hand over the firearm or ammunition to their attorney at law. And their attorney at law would be permitted to deliver the firearm and ammunition to the police station. The SRO and O, once enacted, will allow for the Commissioner of Police to designate through the Minister the places where the firearms are to be handed over, who is the authorized or designated police officer that it should be handed over, and the receptacle in which the firearm or the ammunition is to be placed.
Prime Minister Mitchell said it is everyone's responsibility to collaborate and support the RGPF in maintaining law and order. He said a public education campaign will soon be launched.
The onus is on us to do everything that we can to support and encourage the Royal Grenada Police Force in that regard. And therefore, we are seeking to give the minister the power to have this amnesty so that we can embark upon an aggressive campaign of education, particularly amongst our young men, to discourage them from seeing firearms as something that is sexy, or that's something that is mature, or that's something that makes you feel you're the bigger man, because the outcomes are inevitable and guaranteed. You will either kill somebody, you will kill yourself, you will maim somebody, you will maim yourself, and usually, in the words of Talpri, the grave, the jail, or the hospital.
The representatives who threw their support behind the bill are all optimistic that the amnesty is a step in the right direction.
As it stands, Mr. Speaker, Grenada still is the lowest crime rate in the region and among the lowest in the world. But that undeniable fact does not allow us to sit on our laurels. The report in recent months and in recent weeks of gun incidents in our society is a reason to take stock. It's a real problem that calls for a real solution.
We are a small country. You have violence in Grenada. It's not like you have violence in Grenville, you have violence in Tongue. You have violence in Grenada. Tourists will not come. And worse yet, if we end up getting a travel advisory, well, that's the end of that tourism industry for a bit. So we have to work together.
The attempt to undermine the credibility of the RGPF is a dangerous thing to do. And therefore, all of us have that responsibility, not just to say it is not a partisan issue, but to ensure that we demonstrate through our actions and our words that it is not a partisan issue, and that wherever we can find genuine support, mold, support, empower, enhance the RGPF to do its work, and by extension, the multifaceted approach that is required.
Also, in Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell said that the government is set to initiate infrastructural improvements on the Cliff to WAN Road following the Easter holiday. The deteriorating condition of the road has posed significant concerns for both commuters and residents, prompting the urgent need for improvements. Prime Minister Mitchell said the project's original design, inherited from the previous administration, did not take several key factors into consideration. However, the new design, crafted by Beston Consulting, has undergone significant revisions and incorporates additional specifications to address crucial shortcomings. The planned upgrades to the road are expected to enhance the commuting experience and also contribute to the overall improvement of Grenada's road network. This route serves as a vital link for travelers heading to destinations such as St. George, St. David, and neighboring communities.
Mr. Speaker, if you know that road, in its current state, there are areas where two vehicles cannot pass without one stopping. So there are some parts of the road that are quite narrow, less than 6 meters. And so, Mr. Speaker, we have to go back to the designers, Beston, the consultants, and indicate to them in 2023, 2024, you can't be designing a road where two vehicles can't pass. You can't be designing a road that is in a heavy pedestrian area with houses both at the bottom and the top, and there's no sidewalk. So, Mr. Speaker, we ask the consultants to go back to the drawing board, to widen the road, particularly in areas where it is quite narrow, because we are coming from 3 main arteries. We are coming from the Springs Main Road, we are coming from the Woodlands Main Road, actually 4. We are coming from the WAN Main Road, we are coming from the Calavini Main Road, we are coming from the Munjalo Main Road. That's actually 5. And you're all getting into this narrow bottleneck with hairpin corners, narrow cliffs on the side, retaining walls on the bottom. So what the construction will do, Mr. Speaker, is to widen the roads by cutting into the cliffs, straightening the road so that the line of sight is improved, the construction of sidewalks so that our citizens can walk on the pavement without the risk of being run over by these large trucks and trailers that are heading up the East Coast, all the way to St. Patrick and St. David's for hotel and so on development, and to assure that there's improved safety for pedestrians along that area.
The work is expected to conclude in 10 months. Motorists are advised to utilize other routes. However, vehicles traveling from the cliff direction, with the exception of trucks and heavy-duty vehicles, are allowed to enter into Toby Road or the Concrete Road and exit onto Woodlands Main Road. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mitchell also reported significant progress on the Molyneux Land Slippage Project, with expected completion by the last quarter of 2024 or before, weather permitting. The approximately $12 million project is moving at a good pace and on full scale. He said that he is aware of the challenges faced by those who are now using alternative roads, but he is confident that the project will soon conclude.
The contractor has given a commitment that they will certainly seek to try and accelerate as much as they can the work to see whether or not it is possible to have the road available and open in August or September of this year. The situation continues to pose a challenge for commuters on the West Coast who are required to either go through the bypass road of Monkuma or the Montmoritz Road, both of which are considerably longer, and in the case of the Montmoritz Road, considerably more difficult, given the fact that the width of the road was not meant to accommodate really two-way traffic on any significant numbers. That has affected commuters in particular and members of the public who are required to get bus transportation to get to Sauterres, St. John and St. Mark in particular. So, Mr. Speaker, we are quite eager and keen to make sure that the work on this road is completed.
Another major road on the government's agenda for infrastructure development is the True Blue Main Road. The Prime Minister said that given the economic activity, including the School of Medicine, this would be a worthwhile investment. This is the GIS Evening Report, still to come. Residents of Tuesday's fire to be temporarily housed at Villa Housing Project.
Carriacou Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th. Coming together to preserve and showcase our culture is who we are. Friday the 26th, Belmont at the Chapel. Early morning libation, 3 p.m. Saraka, 7 p.m. the official opening ceremony and cultural evening. Saturday from 10 a.m. Hillsborough Square. It's Strings in the City. Then at 8 p.m. we move to the Botanical Gardens for cultural explosion with local and regional performances featuring Touch the Band. Admission $60. Then on Sunday, it's the grand finale, Paradise Beach. From 12 noon, musical entertainment. And from 4 p.m., Paradise Beach Bands, cultural entertainment and live music. Admission $20. Come and learn to dance the quadrille and big drum on Paradise Beach every Sunday after the launch until the festival ends. Carriacou Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th.
Welcome back. Member of Parliament for St. Patrick West, Honorable Joseph Andal, says families affected by the fire that destroyed 5 houses in Shantimel on Tuesday will be temporarily housed at some of the Chinese low-income housing units in the villa. Upon learning of the incident, Parliamentary Representative Andal wasted no time in personally visiting the families to assess the extent of damage and offer his support. The fire engulfed 5 homes in close proximity, affecting 17 individuals and leaving them in dire need of assistance. Honorable Joseph Andal expressed deep sympathy for the families affected by the fire, acknowledging the material losses they have endured. The fire department, along with residents in the area, worked to keep the fire from spreading further. GIS spoke to Honorable Joseph Andal via the telephone.
Tonight, they will be housed with family and friends, but I have contacted the Ministry of Social and Community Development as well as the Housing Authority of Grenada, and we have made provisions for relocating them for initially a period of 3 months at some of the units at the Villa Housing Project just outside Sauterres. We will also look into areas of further assistance as they seek to rebuild their homes and their lives going forward.
Minister Andal is urging the public to join hands in aiding the affected families during this trying time.
Currently, they are in urgent need of furniture, appliances, stoves, fridges, things like laptops and tablets, which nowadays are almost a necessity of life, linen, clothing, and whatever else that can be of use. All of that will be greatly welcomed. Some members of the community, together with me, we are planning a major fundraiser in Shantimel on Saturday. We are hoping to start in the morning with a breakfast where we'll be serving traditional country-style breakfast. And later on in the day, we'll also be having lunch. So we are urging people to stop by and patronize. And even if you can't, to make an in-kind or a cash donation, you may contact the Office of the Parliamentary Representative of St. Patrick West if you wish to make a donation.
Former and current teachers were recognized on Tuesday for their years of service to the education sector at the opening of the 62nd Annual Conference of the Grenada Union of Teachers. It was held at the St. Joseph's Catholic School, St. David, and was attended by Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, principals, teachers, retirees, and other invited guests. Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, commended the union on its work throughout the years in fighting for the rights and needs of its beneficiaries.
As you are aware, the struggles for recognition of trade unions in the 1930s was a struggle for social justice, equity, fairness, and voice for peoples who had endured the traumas of slavery and indentureship. The nationalist movement in the Caribbean in the 50s, 60s, and 70s of the last century was driven in large measure by the workers and their organizations. Indeed, in every country in the region, the political party that led the country into independence has had its roots either in a specific trade union or trade union confederation. We need strong unions, not only to protect the interests of their members, but also to contribute to strong societies and to nation building that will be required for the cohesive resilience and sustainability of our country.
Education Minister Senator David Andrew thanked educators past and present for helping to mold the minds of many generations. He said they should not underestimate the importance of their job in shaping the country's future.
There's no doubt, it's inescapable, that education, more than anything else, is what's important to transform our country. Because we could have buildings, we could have nice roads, and if the people that we have, if our human resource don't transform, nothing else matters. We could have the nice hospital, but if our people don't transform, nothing else matters. We could have the nice local foods, but if our people don't transform, nothing else matters. So I am convinced we are in a sector that is absolutely pivotal and critical to our nation's development. And that's why I'm happy to be here at your 62nd annual conference, because education is fundamental. It's very critical. And so I want to commend you and thank you for your service over the years and those who are continuing to give service. Because I know teaching, having been there myself, having spent years in the classroom, is not an easy feat. Everybody expects everything of you, as if you're not human too. But I've walked the walk too, so my heart empathizes, because I understand what that walk is and can be. But commendations to you, and thank you for doing it, because at the end of the day, our nation becomes stronger because of it, because of you. And so, thank you very, very much.
President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, said it was important to acknowledge those who have in the past aided in the development of the profession and praised the Deacon Mitchell administration for honoring its commitment to teachers.
For providing so many benefits to teachers and public officers in such a short space of time, we say thanks. For honoring pension restoration and retroactive payments for teachers and public officers, past, present, and your unwavering commitment for the future. You make us smile again. You restore our dignity, self-worth. For retirement, we say thanks. For the repayment of dock salary, we say thanks. For honoring salary increases for the period 2023 to 2025, without teachers and public officers having to march on the streets, 13%, the highest ever, we say thanks. For placing primary and secondary school principals in a new grade, primary school principals from grade H to grade I, secondary school principals from grade I to grade J, an increase over about $1,000 monthly, the envy of so many, even those at the Ministry of Education. At a time when nobody wanted to be principal, the salary was so low, and that is in addition to the 4% salary increase for 2024. We say thanks. Principals, be reminded, thank the government, support the ministry, but obey the call of your union. It is the duty that fought for this benefit for you.
The feature address was delivered by Mr. Brian Charles, former educator. The conference was held under the theme, Building a Strong Trade Union Movement and Nation Through the Power and Solidarity and Education. That story just ended the GIS Evening Report for today. Let's recap the top story. Lower House of Parliament supports measures to remove illegal firearms and ammunition off the streets. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis.